Hello, gamer family, and welcome to my Radiant Dawn tier list video. Woo! Now, this game has a lot of maps, and right off the bat, I want to say this. There's going to be one difference between the actual tier list at the end and me going over that, and that is Act 1, Chapter 6. It has two different parts, but since I combined Chapter 17 for Path of Radiance, I wanted to combine them. The tier list had them separate, so they do appear separate on the tier list at the end, but for the actual ranking, when I'm going over everything, I pretty much put it right in the middle of the rankings of each individual part. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Anyways, let's start. Part 4 maps. Yes, that is actually a tier. I actually think Part 4 is bad enough in this game that I made a separate tier. Anyways, number 42, 4-3. This may be my least favorite desert map in the franchise. This is Rancid. Number 41, 4-Prologue. This is the start of a long chain of awful route maps. The reinforcements are annoying, and the fact that it's a route map is annoying. All these maps are flipping route maps, which are so annoying. These enemies are annoying. The reinforcements are annoying. These actually suck. Radiant Dawn would be my favorite game in the franchise if Part 4 wasn't such ass. Number 40, 4-2. This sucks. This is bad. The only good thing is you get Peleus on it if you're a New Game Plus, whatever you want to call it. Number 49, 4-5. At least it isn't a route map, but still a bunch of annoying Lagoo, an annoying boss that moves, and D-tier maps. These are just really uninteresting. These are just uninspired maps for the most part. Either uninspired or just have something really annoying about them. Number 38, E-5. There's one enemy. This obviously isn't terrible. This map's not terrible. It's just essentially the Idun map from Binding Blade, though, with a stronger enemy. That's all it is. It's one enemy. I have fun playing it, but there's nothing special here, so I shouldn't treat it as such. Number 37, 2-Prologue. There's literally no terrain. They're all flyers. You can move them anywhere you want. It's just a boring square of nothingness. Number 36, 1-9. Fog of War map. Bunch of enemies. Weak Lord, who's the game over condition. And only one other unit, who's the Black Knight. Awesome. But he also has armor mobility. And if you want your bonus exploit, you gotta play it fast. Number 35, 3-4. This is the filthy boulder map. This map annoys me. I didn't think the boulder maps could get worse. But somehow, a map with ledges. I love ledges. But a map with ledges isn't fun. But this is kind of the start of the maps that aren't, awful, though. Honestly, there's actually a pretty big step in quality between 1-9 and 3-4. 3-4 is infinitely better. Number 34, 4-4. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate this one. The Ike Part 4 maps actually aren't that bad, because the reinforcements are less annoying. It's mostly just the staves on this map are so painfully annoying. And this map jump scares you if you put Raphael into the range of Oliver. That's a jump scare. This map's just boring. It just has a lot of enemies and really only exists to grind your Ike. But then he gets put to sleep and you can't grind him anymore. Number 33, E-4. E stands for endgame, if you didn't realize. It's just Leheron and a bunch of elementals. It's boring. It's not fun. There's nothing cool about this map in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, C tier map. This game has one of the best C. I would say, part of me wants to say this has one of the best C tiers in the whole franchise. Is that true? Maybe. It might just be my Radiant Dawn bias, but it definitely isn't a bad C tier. I'll say that much. It does start off with a weaker one, though, with number 32, E-2. The lower half of the map's not fun, but the Black Knight versus Ike part of this map is fun, which makes it better than the previous map and elevates it into C tier, honestly. So, yeah, there's that. At least that's good. Number 31, 3-11. It's the bridge map. Why is this so high? Ike gets Ragdoll. That's it. That's the reason why I put this map so high. Yeah, actually it is. Ike gets Ragdoll. And I don't know. A part of me feels like it's less annoying in this game, just because it doesn't come as a buzzkill. Just because the previous two maps are so different. This 310 is this giant plains battle, and 39 is Alencia Army map. We're finally back to just Ike, which makes this map feel definitely good. It's also the last Ike map for a while, so you can like intentionally handicap your army. The green units definitely, like, with that Tabaran and stuff, definitely give it a more interesting feel as well than the previous one. No reinforcements. And the pitfalls are in the same place too, which is also nice. Really, if it weren't for the light runes, this map actually would be higher. Number 30, 2-1. Yeah, I like this map, but I don't love it. I just don't feel like I found the right way to play this map that's fun yet. Because the map itself is really cool. I like how you have all the different options of where to go. I like the villages. Obviously, Heather's a cool unit. I think the map itself is really fun. I just haven't found the right way to play it yet, I don't think. At least not the right way to play it for me that's super fun. And I imagine once I find that way to play it, this map will skyrocket in my ranking. 1-3. It's fine. This is why, like what I said with Path of Radiance, this is one of those maps that's kind of just there. And I don't really have that much of an opinion on, which is why it's in C tier. It's kind of just there. So yeah. Number 28, 1-8. You may be like, why is this high? It's fun trying to save all the villagers. I actually enjoy that. I don't think I've ever been able to save all of them. But I always try my hardest. Plus, Nolly has a busted unit, so it's great getting her. It's great getting Raphael. And I like how they take away your strongest units. That definitely makes this map feel like a challenge, and I really appreciate that, actually. Number 27, 1-1. It's a fine Chapter 1. Prologue's way better, I feel like, at setting the tone and feel of the game. But this is definitely not a bad map. New units are fun. And it has a different condition if you don't play on the lowest difficulty. It straight up has a different condition of escape. And that is pretty cool. Number 26, 1-4. This is one of those maps that I actually like more every time I play it. I used to despise this map, but if you play it right, you get the Beast Killer for South. And getting all the treasure, it's actually a fun map. I actually really enjoy it. Plus, it gives you money. I like money. Number 25, 2-2. This is another map that I actually like more and more every time I play it. I used to despise this map. This is the Cave Fog of War one, and it's fun to split your army. And the faster you play this map, the more fun it is, and we all like that. Number 24, 3-8. Does Engage somehow make me like this map more? I don't know, but I don't find myself hating this map as much anymore. It's kind of just a basic route split map, and like it doesn't necessarily do anything bad. I don't think it does anything great, but it does have a unique gimmick. And I don't know, when I was making this ranking, it just felt painful to put it lower, and I don't know why, because I used to trash on this map all the time. So I guess it's just one of those maps I like more and more. Number 23, 3-10. This is just a giant epic battle. This is like This is like Chapter 4 of Genealogy, except if you actually got to play half of it. It's like the AI battle there, except you get to join in. And it feels so much fun. Like, obviously, this is a generic map. There's not much going on. But I really do not care. This is cool. This is cool. Anyways, we're now B tier. This is honestly a strong B tier. This is one of my favorite B tiers in the franchise. Every map here, I genuinely really like. And this is where the map design to me truly starts to excel in Radiant Dawn. Yeah, Part 4 isn't good. D tier also isn't the best. C tier is pretty fine overall, but this is where they start getting good. Anyways, we start off with number 22, 4-1. It's actually a fun fog of war map, actually. I actually enjoy it, which is crazy to think about, but I have fun playing it. And also, it's a great opportunity to train Ike. And it's fun to defend the core base for the first few turns and then throw Ike out there. Hell yeah. Number 21, E-3. It's one of the endgame maps, except it actually has different terrain where you can go places, you can't go places. The Ginsia is a fun boss, and dragons are a tough enemy. This definitely feels like a final fight. And I have always found it fun, actually. I think it's a nice challenge. Plus, now you're limited to one weapon per unit, really, without all the blessings that you get. And that also adds a nice level of challenge that starts with this map. Number 20, 1-6. Yep, this is right in the middle of the two parts. Part 2, for the record, is way better. Part 1 is average. But Part 2 I actually like, with trying to hurry so that as much of the green units as possible survive. The introduction of Ballista, and all the hidden items here are also pretty fun, with like the Master Seal being one of them. Like, oh, that's all really nice and fun and dandy, and I like going for it. This is a map that I unironically think is really fun. Number 19, E-1. The best of the endgame set, for sure. This is the best late game map. I love Radiant Dawn, but holy cow, does it have late game issues. Its late game isn't the best when it's highest, when the furthest up map is at the bottom of B tier. But this is a really, really fun map. I love splitting my army here and trying to decide who I want to go where, who I want to send center, who I want to send left, who I want to send right. All that's a ton of fun. The enemies themselves, I find a ton of fun to fight. There's a lot of variety with the enemies, with the magics on the side. Like, you gotta be careful where you send the Legu. The center has a decent amount of strong enemies. I just always have a great time trying to decide who to send where. Number 18, 3-2. You may think at first, oh, this doesn't seem like that good of a map. Why is it this high? And yeah, at first it seems like kind of a plains map. But the first two Ike maps, you gotta keep in mind, are kind of stealthy maps. And this is the first one. This is a big grand battle. You get a ton of units back. You have money. You get money. You actually, if you play right, you have money. You get good skills with good item management. This is where you start to have a little bit of glow up. And hard. You get hard. And I love me some good hard. Number 17, 3-Prologue. I like this map. I think this is a fun kind of start of the espionage map, where it's an army split, except you're only playing half the army. And trying to make it so that as much of them, trying to speed run to beat the Legu to the north, so that as little of them die as possible is fun. Using the ballista is fun. And I genuinely always have fun playing this map. And oh god. The death of Mist on my Iron Man still pains me. I still remember, like, throw down to the controller, like, oh, what an experience, I'll tell you that much. Number 16, 2-3. This map's fun because it's fun to just chuck Joffrey up there so that as little people die as possible. Just have everyone else hide in the corner while he goes up there and fights. Now, you may be like, why do I like this one? I don't like the desert map on that one. in Path of Radius? Well, first of all, that's Lagoon enemies, so they're annoying to fight if you have to fight them. And it's a desert map. Here, there's also just so much enemies, you don't need a ton of them to survive. And it's fun just juggernauting with one, essentially juggernauting with one unit. And just watching all the green units die is funny. Number 15, 1-5. You may be like, whoa, really? And my response is, yeah, really? Oh, yeah. First of all, you get great units afterwards, which is super, super fun. And it's a defend map. I love defend maps. I love the use of legends on this map. I find them a ton of fun. The great showcase of elemental effects on stuff like Lagoons with Volog and the Fire Mages. And I find this a fun map to actually have to build a defense on. Because I always like defend it at different points every time I play it, which is a ton of fun. Number 14, 1-7. I like jailbreak maps. Actually, I don't think there's enough of them to say that for sure. But I like the one in Path of Radiance. Again, this kind of builds off the epic feeling of like, oh, look, some more Path of Radiance characters. Oh my goodness, we gotta go recruit them. Also, secret items here are awesome. And I've always just found this map a really fun one to play. Like, stopping the reinforcements at the north and all that stuff, I find a ton of fun. Number 13, 3-9. I used to not like this map. This is another map that I like more every time I play it. Again, this is kind of like, this is like 5x from Sacred Stones. You have all this giant army that you're amassing, you're growing, and all of a sudden, you cut down to just Alencia's army. It's a nice change of pace from the dire story as it's getting on Ike's side, and it feels good. It feels good to have a change of pace, and the units you actually have here are also they're very unique playstyle, and especially if you don't actually try on Joffrey's Charge, which is 2-3, you're going to have some underleveled units, which also can make this a very unique and interesting challenge. Plus, it's fun trying to save all the villages. Number 12, 1-Prologue. I like it. I think this is a great tone setter. You have a weak lord, but that can heal. And just in general, the Dawn Brigade isn't that strong. So, as a tone setter, I think this map is great. And that rounds out B tier. We're now at A tier. And before we truly move into A tier, I want to say one of the reasons why I love this game is not necessarily about the map design, but how this game works. The changing between armies and the way the units feel is like no other Fire Emblem game. Yeah, obviously there's units that are objective trash just because of their availability, but I do really like how unique this game is with its unit availability. That really sets out strong units and it sets out weak units. And this is also one of those games that's really fun to build up bad units. I love using Edward. It's so satisfying having Edward be good. I guess he's not good, but having him be good is so fun, and that's one of the reasons why I love this. Plus, the Part 3 maps I genuinely think are great. As we go into A tier, I'm just going to tell you guys, only 2 maps in A tier are not from Part 3, and only 1 map in S tier is not from Part 3. The mid-game of Radiant Dawn is so much fun to me. And this A tier is peak. This is peak Fire Emblem gameplay. And you may be like, but you haven't said 3-6 yet? You haven't said 3-12 yet? Which means they have to be in either A or S tier, and that's... you're right! Because they are objective... not objectively. They are, in my opinion, incredible maps. The Dawn Brigade being so weak is part of the reason why I love the gameplay here, as you have this one army that's just growing and growing and growing in strength with Ike's army in Part 3. Then you come back to this army, it's like, okay, they are not strong. How are they gonna fight Ike? He's not in best position, but he's still a strong army. And, like, Banyan's very strong, but eventually they're going to come in contact with Dayan, and Dayan is weak. What's going to happen? And this build of part 3 is so good, and why I love this game's story. Anyways, A tier for real. Number 11, 3-1. This is like a proper espionage map. Honestly, you don't have to stealth things like from a couple of Path of Radiance maps, but this is like one of my favorite Fog of War maps in the entire franchise. It's just so cool, just sneaking around, turning in the lights, killing the enemies, and it's just such a fun map, and it can be stressful because you don't ever know exactly what you're going to have, because the reinforcements can catch you off your guard. Number 10, 1-2, the introduction to ledges. Ledges are one of my favorite mechanics in all of Fire Emblem. Please bring them back. It's sad that neither of the Super Ultra Fantasy Fantasy games and Awakening and Engage had ledges. They both should have. Every Fire Emblem game should have ledges. Like, Three Houses maps with ledges, all of a sudden Three Houses has good map design. Woo! Now, number 9, 3-7. Why is this high? If you're trying to get all the credits, secret credits events, this map is so stressful to try and get all that on. Plus, you have to fight your own units, which is always an awesome time. So yeah, pretty simply, I enjoy this map. Number 8, 3-12. This is one of the maps where you just feel the despair, the lack of hope, and this map feels awesome. Defending your weak units, defending your strong guard up above, and just getting experience. That's all you do. You get experience for your units. You know exactly how many units you need to kill. There's so many different ways you can play this. Do you play it defensive? Do you play the long game? Do you play it very defensive? Or do you be very offensive, trying to get kills ASAP? There's just so many different ways to play this map, and I love that. Number 7, 3-6. Yeah, it's in the top 10. I definitely feel like I definitely don't feel like I fully defended myself on 3-12 because I know people hate it. And you know what? L plus ratio if you don't like this map. It is stressful, it's hard, it's tough, it's scary, and that's good. This map isn't easy. This map humbles you. Even if in the story Ike's side isn't doing the best, they feel strong still. They still feel strong. At part 2, you feel strong. Part 1, you feel strong. This map humbles you. It tells you, you're not that strong. You are an ant. You suck. And I love that. It's a great map. And if you look at it with that outlook, I think you'll appreciate it more. Number 6, 1-Endgame. Wow. The endgame maps of everything that isn't in part 4 are actually great. This is our first endgame map that isn't from part 4. It's just a fun siege. You get some busted units to play with. Ledges are a fun mechanic on the left side of those steps up. Getting the chest is fun. Beating this map as fast as possible to get all the bonus XP is fun. And getting all the chests is fun. Setting up all your units so that the stuff that you want to get to Ike's side is fun. It's all fun and great and dandy, and this is a great map. S tier, baby. We're on S tier. These are some of my favorite maps in the franchise. I adore all of them. If you know anything about Radiant Dawn, you'll know that there are still 3 defense maps I haven't talked about. Yeah. I love Radiant Dawn defense maps. What can I say? Starting with number 5. 3-5. This is a good defend map. That's all I have to say. This is a this is a great defend map. This is what the one defend map in Fire Emblem 7, you know, the one where you get Heath. I feel like this map tries to go for the same type of feel as that one, but this one does a better job. You have a bunch of units, you have good units, And it just feels good. This is a map that feels good to chokehold on. Especially because around this point, Ike is around level 20, so you're gonna start trying to not use him as well. And you're also at this point still trying to get all your Grail mercenaries promoted, and that's all a ton of fun. I love doing that. Number 4, 3-13. Number 2, 2-N. Okay, I'm kidding. First of all, in that joke, I actually skipped number 3 because I'm an idiot. So I spoiled one. And number 2, 3-13 is literally almost perfection of how you do a defend map. You can defeat the boss to end it, but the boss is really tough. And the difficulty ramps up. As more and more reinforcements start, it gets harder and harder. The yellow units matter. They are so important. If you have not played Dawn Brigade well, this map becomes really hard. And then the ending bit, where the Grail mercenaries start coming in as reinforcements, that is so stressful. It's like, oh my goodness. Ah! And it's amazing. This map is honestly nearly flawless. Number 3, 3-3. That's a lot of threes. I love this map. This is the Burn Tents map, and what a great unique condition that makes this map actually incredible. This unique condition just makes me love playing this map. This map is always a highlight for me. It is such a bomb diggity banger. Number 2, 2-N game. This may be the second best defend map in the entire franchise, only behind Conquest Chapter 10. Now, obviously, you can exploit it by just chucking hard at the enemy. But if you don't just exploit it, this map is stressful, it's fun, it's exciting, and it's awesome. This map rules. Number 1, 3-N game. This is just so great. The story gameplay integration is peak. Just the mass giant conflict. It feels so grand and epic, and it's just so cool. Just seeing the kill counter, every kill that happens, just seeing it raise. And the fact that it can be your own units, oh man. And now you have to fight the Dawn Brigade, you have to fight them. Every previous map that has units from both armies, you can technically ignore them. Here, you can't. Will you regret making your Dawn Brigade unit strong? No, they're Dawn Brigade, but still, it's worth thinking about it. And, that's Radiant Dawn. As you can see, the B and C tier are bloatedly huge. And a part of me feels like I can move half a B tier up to A tier, but the reason I didn't is because the A tier in this game is so good. It's just so good. Like, B tier and C tier are all both good. I could probably create 4 tiers out of B and C tier alone, but I didn't. I made both of them so big and bloated to just show, at least for me, how strong the best maps in this game are. A and S tier are just on a completely different level, and I adore them. And, well, that's my Radiant Dawn map ranking. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.